morning. Milky VTuber era. No. No. Hi, Milkman. I like how we both went live at the same time. But, ow, my bones. Free from spoiler jail. Yes, we are now free from spoiler jail. This is the spoiler stream, all right? This is whenever you can speak your fucking mind. You can say whatever, all right? You can talk about how anybody died and how everybody dies. Bahamut. Yeah, Bahamut died. You can talk about literally anything. Can't believe Urion J defeated it. Beefed it by drinking a poison margarita. See? See, you're allowed to say that. But, like, it's been, I don't know, like a week? Almost a week? It's been a while, alright? Since, like, early access happened, and now since the actual release of it happened. I don't know why early access is even a thing. Like, pretty much like everybody's going to pre-order the expansion anyway. So, like, who gives a shit? Like, obviously everybody. Like, everybody's gonna do it. Look, you yapping here. I'm yapping all the fucking time. Alright, I yap constantly. It's what I do. That comes with the territory of being a streamer. But, like, hi. I don't care about the politics of fictional locations. There are clearly based on real life locations, even fantasy locations. Not yet. Alright. What? Like, this will be the Dawntrail discussion yap session thing. Because it's been a little like a week and a half. Alright, that seems like the correct amount of time. It's been like a week and a half. And I've had plenty of time to let, like, you know, you gotta, like, always let it sit. You gotta, like, let it rest. It's like a fine cake. And you let it rest. Or, like, fucking spaghetti. I don't know how to cook. You let, like, the meal sit. And then, after a while, then it's like the Hot Pocket. Alright? The Hot Pocket, you gotta let it sit there. You can't just, like, bite into it immediately. Because it's still gonna be hot. Alright? It's not gonna be, like, edible. I mean, it's edible! Like, with massive amounts of pain. Other than that, alright, it's about letting it sit. And I have let it sit for long enough. Dawntrail. I don't know why people cover their chat box, but I've never streamed Final Fantasy before. But I see everybody do this. So I was like, fuck it, I guess I gotta do it too. Anyway, hi. Welcome to Dawntrail. That's the spoil. That's a spoiler. TOS. What class do you main? This expansion, Viper. It's so if someone says something in global against TOS, you're not on the docket. Huh. I've always wondered why people do that. But I mean, like, also, I don't like... Some people, like, hide names, too. I don't hide names. Because also, like, I don't really care. Anyway, hi. Dawntrail. We're going to be doing this while I get my final Aether Currents, because I haven't done that. I'm not even attuned to all the Aetherites in Heritage Town. But! Dawntrail. Dawntrail came out. If you don't know what Dawntrail is, what the fuck? What? Dawntrail was an expansion for the critically acclaimed MMORPG, or Final Fantasy XIV. Where is my... Where is Fenrir? What's this game? Yeah. And, holy shit. Did Dawntrail cause a fucking scene. Whenever it came to, people not really having a good time. Is there a free trial for this game? Oh, there is. I don't know, but I don't know if you should, like, you know, be engaging with it. Okay, this is not, like, where I need to be to get to that other Aetherite, but whatever. There's a quest down here. This expansion is highly divisive. And personally, I am of the camp that it wasn't that good. Don't summon the copy pasta. I mean, all I'm saying is, I don't know if this one was that good. Because, like, there's a lot here. How dare you? Also, I always do this. I have not read an Aether Current quest since, like, Heaven's Word. I have never read them. I do not care. I mean, XIV Addict, it's not good. That's also the thing. Like, I know many people that... Or not, like, many people. I have, like, people in both sides of the argument in, like, a friend group. So, like... Some people played Dawntrail and they really liked it, and then some people played Dawntrail and as they got more, like, further into the expansion, they thought it sucked. Or, like, they just got more and more annoyed with it. And that was me. I started off, like, 6.55, really liking the character. The all-consuming narrative void, known as a cat, known as Wuklamot. I started off really liking the Wook, alright? The Wookinator. Alright, it was Wookin time. But the thing is that, like, as the expansion went on, I started getting really, 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 really sick of Wuklamot. Now, if you don't know who that is, all right, I'll try to fill people in if you don't, like, if you literally don't know what the fuck 14 even is. But, like, she's just a character that got introduced into, like, the newest expansion. But the thing is that this character takes up, like, 95% of, like, screen time. This is a joke. This is hyper exaggeration. But it's also, like, it feels like it. She shows up and she's in everything. Now, this is an issue because I would get fucking sick of anybody if they were tethered to me or if I saw them for like 95% of the entire game. Is the story about her? Yes, and only about her. Other characters basically just kind of exist in the background, and that's it. They basically exist to go like, Wuklamot, that's right. That's really smart, Wuklamot. Huh, yeah, I'd do that too. Where's Wuklamot? And if I had to, like, look at Hildebrand for an entire expansion, I'd get sick of him too. Final Fantasy does, like, this whole group dynamic thing really well because we exist as, like, a collective. We are, like, the scions of the Seventh Dawn. And then, like, that's your, like, basically 14 expansion. She's there for most of it. Lise was the focus of Stormblood. Emmett Selk was the focus of Shadowbringers. And Emmett Selk was on screen, like, 90% less. And also, like, didn't talk nearly as much as Wook Lamont. And people, like, universally loved him itself. So, like, the issue isn't the fact that, like... Well, no, the issue is the fact that, like, she takes up a fuckload of screen time whenever she's on screen. And then she also just, like... Basically, every cutscene is about her. And, like, as you go further into the expansion, you start, like, asking yourself, what's the point? Why am I here? Because I'm going to say, like, a good 70%. Like, a good number of all of the conflicts in, like, this expansion do not need you to be there at all. And obviously, like, this is an MMO, right? You have no, like, real player agency. Like, you don't matter. Largely, because, like, you can't influence any events. But the game does a really good job of making it seem like you influence events. It does a really great job of, like, hiding that fact. But you're there to vibe. I would have been fine with that if, for the entire expansion, they stuck with that. But they didn't. Because as you can see, this isn't a vibe. Toward, like, the level 97 range, they just hard pivot into this plot line of, like, oh my god! The Tuliolo's being invaded by, like, the Mass Effect people! And they've got, like, guns that steal souls! And I feel like if they just hard committed to the vibing summer vacation thing, I wouldn't give a shit. Because it's like, okay, you know what? That's what you said it would be, and that's what it is. Little funny man of V-Shoujo. I am not a V-Shoujo gamer. I will never be a V-Shoujo gamer. We can talk about that, like, after. Because, like, this won't be, like, 4 hours of me just yapping about Dawntrail. This will have an end. You are a fate. This feels very Ultima from 16. It has kind of the same treadings of, like, Ultima basically got no fucking time to develop or exist. And he was also kind of weirdly tacked on. Also, you're a mentor. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the mentor thing. I don't know where the fuck people are getting the whole, like, oh, but you're there as, like, a mentor figure. All right, you're like her like Auron from, like, Final Fantasy X. And it's like, what? What? We just, like, we stand there in the background and we, like, nod and we're like, believe in yourself. And that's it. That's literally all we do. But, like, I thought Wook Lamont was pretty fun. I liked her in 6.55. She was goofy. She was, like, a big fucking softie. And she was real happy. It was like, cool. I dig that. I'm glad she's out here having fun. But, like, then I just got sick of her. And apparently, a lot of people got sick of her because she just consumes, like, all the screen time when she's on screen. Like, there's two other characters in this expansion that kind of matter a lot, and that's Kryl and Erenville. And Kryl and Erenville have, like, a lot of their character development just fucking shafted because, like, Wook Lamont is always on scream. That's what I'm doing. I scream. Me scream. But, like, she's just on screen always, and then, like, she just consumes the narrative. Like, 90 to 95 or, like, 96 is all about her. Which is a good, like, you can judge how far through an expansion you are by, like, the final number. So, like, 95, 96, a good, like, 50 to 60% of the entire expansion is about her becoming, like, King from Lion King, and she sings the song, and then that's it. Which sucks, because that means Kryl and Erinville get, like, no time to develop at all. Which, like, then leads to this weird fucking, like, back half where they're just like, oh, the shit! Okay, Kryl, she has parents that are from the Lightning World, and they're dead. And the Erinville he's got, like, a mom. She's dead. And then you go to the final area where the people who are dead are, and then they're like, please kill us by like, running a magnet over our hard drive. And you're like, yeah! Yeah! And then you just kill their parents again, and then they cry, and it's like, oh, wow. It feels really unearned, because it kind of felt more like they just ran out of fucking time, and were like, well, we need some kind of emotional beat. Kill their parents. Kryl's almost shafted in every expansion, though. This is true. I wish she wasn't, though, because goddamn, she needs some kind of love. She's like the most background of background characters. All right, we need to go to the dungeon. When do we meet Kryl's grandpa Gallup? I want my old man back. But, like, okay, so I have, like, a bunch of just all over the place thoughts, because now I can say spoiler words. I don't have any of this planned. Like, again, this is just yapping. But the beginning of Dawntrail is also really, really, really fucking slow. And to be fair, the beginning of, like, every expansion is slow. I can't stun you. But usually you can, like, ignore it because you're really invested in the story. Focus more on other bitches, then people wouldn't hate it. Basically, yes. But also, there's, like, a bunch of other problems, too. Like, the fact that this area exists and the whole, like, 2-act structure that they did is also very weird and strange. Because you spend so much time doing the Throne Ascension plotline that this entire second area just, like, cannot breathe. All of Alexandria doesn't get time to breathe. You're kind of here, and then they introduce a bunch of characters at you, and then, like, a bunch of them just die. Not even, like, 20 quests later. So, like, let's take Queen Sphene, for example. Queen Sphene, who's, like, the main antagonist of like, part 2. After, like, okay, I guess, like, the duo antagonist of part 2. Once she, like, enters the zone, and, like, after you do, like, 3 quests with her, you're very able to tell that she's evil. Like, just out of the gate, you're like, she's fucking evil. Everybody knows this. Like, literally everybody knows this. But, like, of course, you have to wait for the game to catch up, which is just like, yeah, that's just how narratives work. But the issue is just the fact that, like, you know this, and you just spend so much time here, like, not really kind of caring about what she says, because you're like, you're evil. Like, I know you're evil. And then you figure out that her motivations for doing everything she's doing is basically just, what, I'm going to be Emmett Selk from Shadowbringers, but again. And also slightly worse, because my people are already actually dead. And I know this, and I'm just trying to prolong their, like, really long death. And then, like, the final area is supposed to be really emotional and sad, I think, because you're turning people off, but, like, it's just kind of like running a fucking magnet over a hard drive, because, like, these people are already dead. So, like, who gives a shit? It's not like Emmett Selk, because he had a point. Emmett had a very good point of, like, we are basically just reflections, all right? We are imperfections of people he knows. And he wants to bring the people back, and he sees all of us as less than people. So he doesn't really give a shit whenever he, like, mass murders everybody whenever he does a rejoining, because why would he? We're not people in his eyes. I think the whole cryo segment in Memory Lane, though, it was sweet. Memory Lane was, like, it had nice moments, but I felt bad because the entire time I was watching Memory Lane, I was like, I can very much tell I'm supposed to be caring here, but I don't. That's also a thing that I feel like was really weird about Dawntrail. Dawntrail never got me. I didn't like... I see people being like, oh my god, I sobbed like a fucking baby at, like, the final area. And I'm like, what? Am I insane? Am I, like, a weird fucking sociopath or something? I felt like nothing. Because it's like, okay, yes. I think I got to, like, area 1 or 2 of the final area, and then I was like, oh shit, we're just doing, like, Amarat and or Ultima Thule again. We're doing, like, reverse Ultima Thule. Where, like, we're just killing the people in there. I cared more about Amarat than I did Living Memory. Really? No, that's not that. Living Memory about Amarat. Really? Huh. I know people really like it. I just got, like, really sick of it because I was like, oh shit, this is just Ultima Thule again. That's all XIV expansions. You're giving a fuck will vary wildly in every factor. Usually, I'm pretty on board with the general feelings because, like, I can see it. Like, whenever I got to Amarat, I was like, oh, shit. Lamati doesn't deserve the hate. I think, regardless of anything, Lamati, or Wook Lamat, is a character that you kind of just have to accept that everybody's going to have an opinion on her by the end of the expansion, because she's literally everywhere in the expansion. She's, like, omnipresent. So you have, like, no choice but to have an opinion on her by the end. The story's hella rushed, and if you put Sphene thing in, like, 6.3, we were good. If we offloaded a lot of what goes on in Dawntrail's beginning to, like, patch 6.4 and 6.5, a lot of the weird pacing issues might have been solved. I enjoyed the worst expansion because the only character I gave a fuck about died, and she's buried under the 3 super mid-elfmen of that expansion. Which is fair. I liked Heavensward mainly because of the fact that, like, we had a threat, and, like, we had, like, an omnipresent threat. Or not, like, an omnipresent threat. Like, we had a threat that was there for, like, most of the entire expansion. And someone also put this really good in that a lot of the reasons people like past expansions is because usually there's a force or some kind of negative thing there that acknowledges us specifically, and then it becomes, like, almost our rival for the expansion. And that kind of doesn't exist for Dawntrail. So, like, for Heavensward, a lot of the threat mainly comes from the fact that we are in a new land, and then also the fact that the Pope kind of doesn't like us. Or, like, you know, he kind of wants us, like, gone from Ishgard. And then Stormblood's threat to us is Xenos, and Xenos is there and introduced really early, and he is the reason, like, you know, he really wants to fight you specifically. And then Shadowbringers is like, here's Emmett Selk. Emmett Selk exists, and he's going to constantly harass you throughout the entire expansion. And then Endwalker is literally all about the Warrior of Light. It's about saving the universe. And then Dawntrail has, like, nothing like that. It almost feels like they forgot to do that. Because a lot of Dawntrail... No, fuck, I can slip through that. Is people looking at us and being like, we can't fight that one. And during the entire back half, like the entire Act 2, it kind of just feels like they forgot about me entirely. And we're just like, okay, have Sphene look at them every so often and be like, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Like, obviously, I don't really care if I'm the main character. There have been many expansions where I am not the main character, such as Stormblood. But Stormblood, at the very least, hid that fact a little bit better behind the fact that, like, there was something there for, like, us to do. You're still, like, basically spoiled that the Scions will come back. I mean... yeah. The thing about the final, like, the thing about Ultima Thule is that you can kind of guess immediately that the Scions will come back, though, because, like, they're not gonna fucking kill the Scions, ever. You have to help finding your biological father, also losing your adopted father to her brother. Kill it. We not had a major character that's supposed to have his word, but I never believed that for a second that the Scions who died Ultima Thule. Yeah, exactly. And they're very afraid to kill the Scions, and the last time a Scion died was in Stormblood, and even then, it was like Papa Limo, and I have never met anybody that was like, oh shit, Papa Limo died. Because he was kind of like a minor Scion. Draws attention to the fact that none of what she's doing is new at all. Papa Limo dies. It says spoilers in the title. Holy shit, that's really far to the southwest. Why is Guy Fieri on the bottom left screen? Because you can't show the chat in this game because reasons. I don't know. Everyone else does it. They felt it was okay to kill him. Yeah. But, like... this also... okay, this kind of, like, just ties back to the point of... I don't think we have a reason to exist in Dawntrail, like, at all. And that's, like, a very big thing. Like, also... Wuk-Lamat speaks, like, more than all of the Scions combined. Which is weird. Okay. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. It came to my brain. Wuk-Lamat, it doesn't feel like I'm going on an adventure, like, with Wuk-Lamat. It feels like I'm just, like, hired muscle. It doesn't feel like I am, like, going on this adventure with her. It feels like I'm just, like, standing in the background and existing while everything happens to her. Whereas, like, most other expansions, it feels like you're kind of going on an adventure with the people you're, like, in the expansion with. We are her mentor. I don't feel like a mentor, though. I feel like a guy that just... I feel like a hype man. I feel like Yes Man from fucking Fallout New Vegas. But, like, less involved. Like, I basically just kind of exist to sit there and give, like, thumbs up and nod. I also, yeah, I don't feel like I'm teaching her anything. Self-confidence, I guess. There's also the fact that, like, Dawntrail writing feels, like, really sloppy. Can I fly now? No, I can't. Just, like, in general. Because it, like, it doesn't have that much nuance to it. And it kind of just goes out of its way to be like, this character really likes peace. And it like she likes, like, love. This character is evil and likes war. This, like, they don't, like, explain that to you through, like, actions. They kind of just tell you outright. What do you mean there's no nearby Aether Currents? I'm missing a fucking side quest. You. It was minor, the scene of her coming to reality after seeing her father died and what Alice said to her. There was a scene, like, before she became Dawn Servant, I think. I don't remember when it was. But it's that scene where she comes to you in, like, the middle of the night and she knocks on your door and she's like, I'm really embarrassed. I need to tell you something embarrassing. Can you come and meet me on top of, like, in front of the palace? And you go up there and she's like, I really like peace and the culture of Tuliolo. And I like peace. And I just thank you so much for helping me like peace. And you're like, cool. I understand. We've kind of like been traveling together for like 5 to 6 levels. I get it. We don't have any sense of us training her, and the only nod and smile at her are not mentors to us. If the Warrior of Light was a mentor, we'd be tearing her new one for simply childish ideals and would actively testing her in training and not just smiling. This is true, all right? We've seen, like, Heaven's Word. Like, we know what happens. Or, like, we've been in Stormblood. We've got first-hand experience with Lise and how she was, like, very much not fit to rule, but then she found out how she wasn't fit to rule and how to rule. There were plenty of scenes where Lise was trying to get people to get up and fight back, but they couldn't because of the fact that, like, they were, like, these centuries of oppression, basically, under Garlean rule. You don't really... I don't feel like a mentor. So, like, that entire plot line, if that was even, like, a plot line or, like, something they were going for, fell entirely flat to me. There's the fact that, like, the solo duty has Wook Lamont in it. And then, like, she also barges in during the final trial. And at that point, I know for a fact the final trial is really, really a big turning point for people in, like, the Wook Lamont character. Because a lot of people were excited to finally just, like, go toe-to-toe with a character, finally. And then whenever she showed up, like, the party I was in, the chat actively had people going like, oh, fuck off! One of my friends, as he was playing through the expansion 2, he was, like, DMing me, and he was like, no, why are you here? Go away! This was my moment! So, like, I get it. At least letting Tempered into a Platinum Peace Talks just irks me to this day. Yeah. And that's the thing. She let Tempered into Peace Talks and, like, paid for it. But, like, usually that's also what people cite in terms of, like, reasons why the Lamont isn't that good, is because, like, a lot of her ideals never get challenged. Until, like, the very end. And even then, by the end, I don't think she should have been here. I think this would have been a lot better if we had, like, Kona or something. To give, like, another character time to develop. Or if we just didn't have either of them at all, and it was just Erenville and Kryl. Because, like, I know that, like, one of them has to be here because of, like, Zoral Jaja. Or, like, Zoralja. Due to him existing, and then, like, the family ties, and him killing Gulul Jaja and stuff. But, like, that's also, like, Kona's dad. And Kona's not here. Kona's still in the fucking palace, doing nothing. She's furry Naruto, basically. Yes. But that is, like, the long and short of all of it, is just that the character of Wook Lamont is a very big, big thing. Good. We say to her dad she's not fit to rule, and then he laughs, and nothing happens, and then nothing happens to fail for Wook Lamont. Yes! The second I got that option, I was like, oh yeah, no, she's not ready. Like, at all. If it wasn't for Ricardo, we wouldn't have Vitra there. True. But, like, after that scene, like, whenever we get here to Heritage Found, this should be the moment where it's like, okay, like, the wooking is over. It is now Kona time. I also... Alright, like, to get a little bit controversial, I don't like Bakul Jaja. Is Woklamat's story one note? Basically, yes. All of the pre-act, like, all of Act 1, like, before all of this stuff happens, her entire thing basically is, I want to be king. I'm going to go to this place and learn about their culture, and then tell them I like peace. And then the people at the location go, yes, Woklamat, we're rooting for you. Secretly. Good old Rathlos. And so you go to these locations, and Woklamat is like, yes, I like peace. I'm going to resolve this peace dispute by doing things the cultural way, while my brother does something the actual way. Or, like, you know, the fast way. Why are you hearing Rathlos? Why do you hear Monhun music? Because this, you know, this is Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World version Proof for Hero. This is Rathlos. There was a crossover. I want to go to Solution 9. Because now I have all of my writing. Wait, oh, hang on. What's my map looking like? Not you. Blech. How you like the Paladin? Really good. Really fun. Anyway, back to it. So, like, okay, there's a graph. Again, there is a graph. I love the graph. The graph is really funny. And the graph shows that Woklamat speaks, like, 7,000 words. And the character directly below her speaks 3,500 words. And it's Sphene. Bring forth the holy graph. Bring forth the holy graph! Where's the graph? 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 I think it's like up here. I type in like this. Oh yeah, that brings me closer to the graph. I'm just gonna save this image. I pull it up so much. I'm just gonna save it. And then here's that, which we can now replace with this. The fuck you mean working on it? The graph! So as you can see, Woklamat speaks quite a bit. Okay, I did change this that way, like, it still does shit in the background. There we go. But yeah, okay. The graph, as you can see, I love the graph. The graph is really funny. Woklamat speaks 7,000 words. Sphene at number 2 speaks 3,500 words. Kryl, who is, I'd argue, a very central point of the entire expansion, especially, like, she's the reason, basically, why we come here. Aside from Woklamat being like, help me become king. Like, Woklamat is... Not Woklamat, I keep saying her name so much. Kryl is basically, like, another reason why we're here. Kryl speaks 1,000 words. Woklamat speaks, like, basically 7 times more than Kryl. Where does Dawntrail take place? Tuliolal. Yeah, America as well. Not like North America, but like South, Middle, and North America as like as a collective, and then here. I don't mind Milky for most of the expansion. When she busted in during the final trial to say I learned about you, whatever that was, I was just kind of okay. This is kind of dumb. I see why people don't like her now. It's just the fact that she's omnipresent. She is everywhere. Speaking of the Speen Queen, I think she's kind of a meh villain. She's M itself. We've had this before. But, like, worse. What if we went to Brazil and they had a bad time? Yeah. I also want to say this, okay? This is not, like, overblown. Because I have been here since, like, 2.0. I have seen the rise and fall of, like, poetics as a capped currency. I was there whenever World of Darkness was new. So, like, I've seen every expansion, and I've been there for every expansion's launch. And never, on Brynhilde at the very least, never on Bryn have I ever seen people in shout chat actively talking about how they don't like the DLC. All right, how they don't like the expansion. But I have with Dawntrail. There we go. What does that say, Yahi? What's up with the sky here? Lightning. Gas. I feel like Woklamat again. Talk to Ramon. Oh yeah, 36% of also all the quest objectives go through her. Or have to involve her in some way. Like, it goes from kind of, like, even at the beginning, if you really enjoy Woklamat, or like if you don't, okay, if you don't really mind her at the beginning, by the end of it, you're gonna be like, oh my god, go away. Our game's going to eventually have a bad update if it's been out for a decade. This is true. It's just that, like, with 14, it's a very interesting experience because usually you can't criticize this game. Most of the time, whenever, like, you try to criticize 14, a lot of people will just, like, tell you you're wrong and that the game is perfect and good. That thing where you said Woklamat came in and Woklamat over the final boss was an exaggeration. Then I fought the final boss. Also, hello, I just slept for 16 hours. Yeah, no, that's not an exaggeration. I love you, Invisible Pole. Like, the fact that Woklamat shows up during the final boss and Woklamats all over the place is a real thing that happens is a bit insane. I need it to be 11. That way I can do my roulette. So that way I can finally hit 100 Paladin. However, all right, to counteract all the bitching. I don't think you were here before. But to counteract all the bitching, the game is fun to play. Classes are still relatively inconsequential, but, like, the game's fun to play, which is shocking. Because Endwalker was kind of a massive snooze fest. I thought the characters coming in hype helping out the final boss because that gets me hype, but it should have been Wooklan around. Exactly. Like, if it was Kryl that showed up, it would make sense because, like, you know, this is the queen that's, like, been keeping her parents alive in, like, the weird microwave dimension. And then, like, she has, the Kryl was there. She just didn't do anything. But nope, it's what? What do you think of Purple Tron World, Milky? I love this. I am a big fan of Solution 9. Shit. All I know about materia melding is that you always just meld direct hit and crit. No, it was a det and crit. think it's debt. I think it's determination and crit. I don't know. They both have fair motivation. Just that Wook has her oversaturation. Yeah. Like, I've seen people say that, like, it wouldn't be that bad if, like, by the halfway point, she just, like, stuck herself to the throne, and then that was it. And then, like, the back half of the expansion was, like, nothing. Who's your favorite character in Dawntrail? Well, I can pick from Wook Lamont, Wook Lamont. There's probably also Wook Lamont. There's Wook Lamont. Well, there was Wook Lamont. It's Otis. It's just Otis. I like Otis. He's simple. The dude is a knight. He wants to be a good knight. Then he died. Oh, well. Why do you have a rat tail? Because I have horns. I'm an Aura. I love Kathiwa. Kafkiwa. Yeah, it's Kafkiwa. I can agree with that. Aaronville's mom's pretty good. Remember when they instantly retcon his death? Yep. I love how much the Final Fantasy IX music's in the game now. I'm going to make my mission collect them all. Good. But yeah, like, gameplay is great. Like, look at this. This place looks great. A lot of the environments are fucking really cool to look at. It's a shame that you still don't have a reason to actually be in the overworld for that long, but yeah, whatever. That's just how it always is. But yeah, this shit's like, it's just cool. Like, it's just neat to look at. Oh, this is a shard of Hillebrand? Maybe. Night City. No, we're not in Night City yet.
Hey, horror.
And then, like, dungeons are fun. The trials are fun and have, like, an actual kind of, like, meat behind them. All right, I'm walking because I hit the horror.
Hey, horror.
The horror is the walk button. By the time I end up liking Bakul Jaja by the end. That's Gap Moe. But also, I get it. I still don't think Bakul Jaja should have been redeemed. Because, like, I don't know. I think his redemption's stupid. I mean, like, okay, so all of the Mamulja was stupid. The lizards suck. You show up to, like, the lizard land, and they're doing, like, they're, like, hyper-racist, basically, because they don't think anybody else, or, like, the lizards that are still there in, like, Mamulja, they're like, you're kind of fucking beneath me. And then you teach them how to, like, grow strawberries, and they're like, oh my god, you've solved generations of bloodlust and, like, putting, like, babies in the baby mulcher. Now we don't have to do eugenics anymore. Thank you. Oh shit, DJ booth. Like, literally, you just show up and they, like, you tell them, have you tried growing corn? And they're like, ah! Oh my god! We can eat here? And then Bakul Jaja's like, I couldn't help it. I was evil because of the babies. The babies made me do. They killed the babies. Hang on, fucking, where's that clip?
Shoot me, human.
Oh, I will. Everyone knows that. More baby? Why's that? Keep you from eating more babies?
What the name are you talking about?
You eat babies. You have to survive. Everyone knows that.
You eat babies. I don't know. It kind of feels like a cop-out that they're just like, you can't be mad at him. They did eugenics for a while, and now there's dead babies. And I was like, ah! That Charlotte picture. You know the Charlotte picture? The Charlotte picture, like, where she's sitting there and just, like, it's fucking like, the anime girl. The blonde anime girl that looks like groaning. That's how I felt by the end of Dawntrail. Of course, I will never, like, kick in any of my friends' doors and be like, you're wrong. What you're doing is wrong and stupid, and you're bad and stupid for liking this because you're stupid and wrong. I just feel like it's worth talking about the things that make you unhappy in the video game because it's a product you're paying for, and if you don't complain about the product you pay for, eventually it gets really bad. Look at you! Class design! It's also how they pause the camera for 15 seconds inside the dungeon. Yeah. The king is part of the eugenical practice, and that wasn't like, he wasn't concerned about changing. Yeah. He knew, he just kind of didn't care. What the hell's going on over here? The GPU fan should be like over there. Yeah, there it is. God, I fucking love Solution Dog. You should say you're a fucking idiot when he tries the baby stuff. Yeah, that's what I did. I was immediately like, don't you try to fucking use this as an excuse, you idiot. I couldn't help it. I had to do terrorism on the giants because the babies. If you think about it for longer than a second, it brings up too many questions. Why did they not just try to grow a different crop? Like, why? This place is very W Corp coded. I mean, yeah. This is warp train aesthetic. 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. I'm waiting for that to take over to 11, then I can do my roulettes, because I want to do my roulettes really bad, because I want to hit fucking... I want to hit level, like, 100 Paladin. Ugh! 14. 14, 14, 14. I don't know. I think this entire thing is just very interesting to look at. From, like, just a weird people watching kind of standpoint. Because if you, like, go to the Steam reviews, I honest to God think that the Steam reviews are a pretty good indicator of, like, player base. Because, like, they're a sample size. Sociology, that's it. They're a sample size. Regardless of anything, regardless of how big your game is, like, the Steam reviews are a pretty good indicator of, like, sample size. Unless it's, like, a review bomb or something. But, like, this isn't a review bomb. Like, a lot of the Steam reviews that I've read are legitimately just voicing their concerns with, like, major things that happen in the expansion. And then, like, a lot of the positive reviews are people being like, yeah, you know, it's pretty good, it's pretty alright. And then, like, some of them are just like, the people that are in the negative reviews are wrong and stupid, and they just can't read. So, like, it's... And then Twitter! Oh, God! Oh, Twitter's a shit-flinging contest. But then again, when's it not? Like, people on Twitter are just like, Wooklamot is great and also the perfect character, and if you don't like her, fuck you. And that's fine, you know, that's fine. But also, like, you know, Nuance is dead. Don't go to Twitter. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like we, as a player base, have had our fucking heads buried in the sand for a bit too long. And it might be time to have, like, a little bit of a chat, or a little bit of a discussion about, like, 14. You can't read just pisses me off so much. The thing I hate is the fact that, like, you can't criticize the character that is a part of a majority of the expansion. Like, literally the majority of the expansion without being called, like, a women hater or transphobe. And if I am either of those things, I need to have some very deep and serious conversations with many of my friends. Three more minutes. I have nothing to do. Like, I just want to do my roulettes. I feel like you're fine, Milky. I mean, not even... I'm fine. I feel like the player base is in a recency bias phase, you know? I mean, it's true on both sides. Like, now that I've had time to think about it, like, Dawntrail, it's still not my favorite. I'm not as, like, passionately angry about it anymore. But it's definitely, like, I would put this at, like, 5 out of 10 as an expansion. Like, it does basically nothing except, like, give you a magical MacGuffin that you can use for, like, different expansion hooks. Why is there a jumping puzzle here? This would be, like, a perfect place for a jumping puzzle. How a few months or a year from now, people will look at Dawntrail more critically. That's the thing, though. We kind of need to look at it, like, now. Because if we look at it critically in, like, a few months or a year, the issue with 14 is the fact that, like, they're probably already writing 8.0 right now. Because a lot of the times with 14, it's a really slow ship to get turned around. Because they plan so much out. Because of the way the content is structured. Because everything in 14 is pretty uniform. There's a level, like, 91 dungeon. There's a level, like, 93 dungeon. There's, like, a level 97 dungeon. Then there's, like, a level 99 dungeon. There's a capstone dungeon. And then there's 3 trials throughout, like, the entire thing. That's just how it works. And, like, because of the way the game just works, it's planned really far out in advance. So if you don't, like, make a stink about things, then it never gets changed because, like, or it won't get changed for a very long time. And by then, a whole plethora of new issues could crop up. And then they have to, like, change those. And the EX dungeons. Would you rank best to least favorite with the expansions? So best to least favorite, I would put Shadowbringers, Endwalker, Heavensward, Stormblood, ARR, and then Dawntrail. I would put Dawntrail at the very bottom. Really, yes. I do not think Dawntrail is above AR, like even ARR. I'd say ARR is worse than this. I can see that. I give ARR a lot of, like, slack and leeway because it's 50 levels, which is basically 5 expansions worth of shit. And then also the fact that, like... Also, yeah, I played ass ARR. I played 2.0 ARR before they, like, reworked it to be less fillery. And I still had more fun during that. Like, ARR has dips and dives in quality. And that also, it was like to save a salvage, like a failing game. So a lot of it was also just 1.0, like, remnants. Because it came after Endwalker. It's the beginning of a new saga, guys. This is the new ARR. It's not even that. Like, you can have setup and have it not be shit. Heavensward exists. Heavensward wasn't even about the Dragonsong War originally. And then, like, the patches were solve the Dragonsong War. And then you do that, and it's like, holy shit, this is great. Like, you can have... There we go. You can have setup and have it not be terrible. But they didn't do that. That, not to mention, like, a lot of what they set up in this expansion, they then immediately resolve. Like, by the end of it. Spheen's dead. Zakul's dead. Or Zerul, Zakul, whatever the hell. Whatever his name is. Papa Jaja's dead. Kona's the king. Wooklamat's the king. At best, what we have is Spheen's crown for a patch story hook. From, like, the post-credits scene. And then we also have the magic MacGuffin that lets us travel to different charts. That's it. That's, like, the only 2 things we have. Everything else happened and got solved. They can double down on a piece of shit story based on an older Final Fantasy. They could do that! And then we have Endwalker patches again, which is going to be really fun and great and amazing. Because everybody loved the Endwalker patches. They didn't. They didn't. But, like, okay. So even then, if you didn't like the Endwalker patches, a lot of it could be excused by the fact that you had just, like, you know, you had just experienced Endwalker. And you're like, well, I mean, you know, these are patch quests. So it's like, what the fuck ever. Who gives a shit? We wait until, like, the next expansion. You know, the next big thing. The expansion. The expansions are the big ones. That's what you care about. And then we get to this expansion, and it's like, oh, wow, this feels like a giant patch quest. Oh, hey, Hephaestus. My bad. Hesperos. Well, Paladin? Oh, shit. I've got more HP. Alright. I'm the tank. I don't know Paladin's rotation, so if I play shittily, that's my excuse. I got Golbez. Oh shit, Yoshi P hurt me. I think it's very funny how they spent so long in the Endwalker patches. So much so that they broke the, like, actual usual cycle of, like, 6.3 being the end of the, like, thing you're trying to do. And then, like, 6.4 and 6.5, or, like, the 0.4 and 0.5 quests set up. Like, what you're trying to do. They broke that cycle for Endwalker, and 6.4 and 5 we're still doing the really long Final Fantasy IV reference. Should I care about patch quests? Yes. But it also depends on the expansion. That is also true. Like, I'm sure that Zero will show back up. Hang on, let me, like... There we go. But, like, until Zero shows back up... Holy shit. I don't remember this fight. Both of us died. Both tanks died. Actually, wait, hold on. Let me give this to... This is a mess. This is a mess. This is a big mess. This is what I get for not tanking for, like, 2 expansions. But yeah, like, a lot of the patch quests are usually pretty good because they set up things that you need to give a shit about. And they also finish up the story that maybe couldn't be finished up in the actual, like, expansion. I love you, Scooby-Doo music. It's just that, again, for whatever reason, Endwalker didn't do that. And Endwalker introduced, like, a character named Zero, who was pretty alright, and then Zero just showed up and then fucked off, and then that was it. She'll probably be back for another expansion, but at the same time, probably not. Who knows? Final Fantasy has a really bad habit of hating women. Void stuff didn't foreshadow Alexandria, and when the Shadow Brothers foreshadows Alexandria. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of my spiel on Dawntrail. I think it's really, really not that good. And I think that watching it all unfold will lead to a very interesting time in, like, 14. And I think that, like, that's like a quote or something. I don't remember who said it, though. It's like, I wouldn't wish for my, like, worst enemy to live in, like, interesting times or something. Because, like, an expansion has never, ever been this poorly received. Ever. This is a very, like, new territory. I just hope that, like, what they correct isn't, like, the gameplay, because, again, that's, like, the best it's ever been. Sorry for healers, though. Your class still really sucks. At the very least, I can say I'm really excited for Arcade now. Because, again, more gameplay. We have, like, a weird thing, right? Whenever, like, people don't like the expansion, or, like, they consider it, like, kind of bad, like Stormblood, the gameplay is always, like, really good. And apparently, whenever the gameplay is, like, the story's great. I need to focus. Dawntrail could have been both so easily. It could have. You there. Boy. Ow. Tank privilege! Well, I'm not a DPS, so I can stand here. That was terrible. Could be worse. Nice job, cat. I already have that? I don't have that. I wonder how they're gonna break Monk again. Well, don't worry, because in 8.0, they will be changing Astrologian yet again. Hi, Black Mage. Oh, you have the minion. Good luck. Ash is in a better place than it was before, at least. It is, but don't worry. They'll change it again in 8.0. They have this really weird habit of always changing Astro every fucking expansion. But yeah, that's it. That's the Dawntrail spoiler talk. I needed to, like, fucking get that out. Because there's just so much. This game is, like, weird as hell. And its community is weird as hell. But also, I encourage all of you. If you think the game is bad, for the love of God, tell the people that the game is bad. It was really fun to listen to. Well, I mean, like, 14 is, like, heralded as such, like, a monolith of a game. Like, every expansion has been pretty great, all things considered. Why do I keep getting the near raids? But yeah, like, all of the expansions are considered to be really fucking good. So whenever one is bad, it's kind of like, what? But also, the community has a problem. in that, again, you can't really criticize the game. Because some people made Warframe the game using Soul. Making Soul. Yeah. Ass history is apparently so infamous that it reached me. Yeah. But, like, usually, again, you can't criticize this game because people will call you, like, every fucking version of a slur. It's like reverse bullying. It's like reverse toxicity. Like, usually, like, if people say good things about a game that's, like, kind of mid, that's whenever you get, like, called a slur or something. But here, it's the opposite. If you say bad things about 14, like, they'll just, like, people will, like, kick in your door. And they'll be like, well, I mean, like, I thought it was pretty alright. Big guy. And it's like, cool, I am glad you did. However, I did not think it was pretty alright. And I am just here to let people know that, or, you know, I am here to provide feedback on the product that I am paying for. Also, yeah, I play with effects on, so, you kind of can't tell what the fuck's going on. And I like it that way. I still think streaming 14 is like a fool's errand. Because this game, like, is visually incomprehensible to fucking anybody. And talking about it's kind of also, like, boring. Because it's just like, oh my, yeah, you see, so I'm gonna hit, like you said, like, look at this shit. How do you, like, get anything out of this? I could not watch 14 before I played 14. I mean, yeah. I can agree, because, like, I don't like watching 14. It's usually, like, you like watching, like listening to the shit surrounding 14. Like, 14 kind of just exists. It's good background radiation for, like, whenever you want to yap. But other than that, like, it's just noise. And, like, it's really big noise. Hey, Scholar. You put up one valid criticism. People act like you just bisected their grandma vertically. Yes, this is what happens on Twitter. I'm pretty sure I have, like, I'm pretty sure some of my friends have me muted on Twitter because I said bad things about the expansion. So, like, you know. Normal 14 things. Personally, I think it's because of the fact that, like, many people have, like, a very deep emotional attachment to this game, and also, like, they kind of conflate a lot of their, like, own personal being with the game. So if you, like, say, I think the game is bad, you're essentially saying, like, well, I think you're shitty and a bad person. Because, you know, it's a human condition. You get emotionally invested in things, and if someone doesn't like the thing you like, then you take it as a personal attack. But also, I don't know. I've never really, like, discussed 14 with anybody before. Except for, like, my other motherfuckers. Like Yahi. And usually that's because we're both hating on it. When 14's good, man, is it good. But when it's bad, man, is it bad. That's the long and short of it. I got nothing. I got nothing. I feel like a weight has been lifted from me. I applied to V Shoujo. That's it. Nice segue. I got nothing. Like I said, like this was mainly just like me yapping about Dawntrail. And then I yapped about Dawntrail. So now, like, you know, objective complete. That's it. I can go home. Why'd you apply to V Shoujo? People keep, like, sending me VTuber applications whenever they're open because they're like, Milky, do it. And I was like, fuck it. I'm not above the bit. So I applied for the bit. There's no way I'm getting in. But it's fun for the bit. It's fun for the funnies. I almost applied to HoloLive, but I, like, didn't do it because I needed to, like, record a 2-minute video of me acting in character. And, like, I can't just, like, do that off the cuff. If I had, like, a character to act as, sure, I could probably do that. But with V Shoujo, they're kind of, like, weirdos, so, like, it's, I could, like, actually complete this application, so I was like, yeah, fuck it. We checked Refraction Railway and Limbus yet? No, I haven't played Limbus in, like, months. You'd hate to be a Corpo VTuber if you ever got in. I'd hate to be a Corpo anything. I'd also probably, like, not like to be a VTuber. I wouldn't say no. But I would have to have a very odd conversation with the person if they ever, if they do get back to me. And have to be like, hi, I did this as a joke. But again, won't happen. Because, it's V Shoujo, and, like, there's also, like, giant big-name VTubers applying. And, like, I am not a giant big-name VTuber. I'm not even a VTuber. I'm kind of just a schmuck. I got nothing. I woke up. And that's my problem. If I, like, wake up immediately before I stream, I can't yap. It doesn't work. Because, like, I take so long to get going. It's the Reggie Gigas effect again. You fucker. I understand why they changed the raid to make it to where you don't just get Circus Tower all the time or, like, the Crystal Tower series all the time, but God, do I miss the Crystal Tower series all the time. Because, like, that was fast. It was fast enough. Now I gotta do near raids. Hansel and Gretel. Gretel's weaker. Doesn't matter. Now we gotta fight this one. Hi. I don't think I'll ever stream 14, though. Like, again. This is very much a one-and-done deal. Because, like... I don't know. MMO is like a social thing. And, like, this is a game that you play with your friends. They're going to swap locations, which means that they're going to cross in the middle. Never mind, I lied. Like, every other game I play on here, it's pretty, like, solo-friendly. Like, fucking... like, Spyro. Alright, Spyro is like nothing. Double near raids. Yeah, Spyro's like nothing. Like, it's whatever. But, like... I don't know, like, 14, I have to, like, focus a lot on. And I can't just, like, turn my brain off and be like, yeah, this game doesn't matter. I was like, I want to do my shit good. And whenever I focus, I can't do anything. Like, I can't make, like, gunch noises. Because, again, I have to focus on not dying and becoming, like, a fucking paste on the floor. But here, I have much to focus on, and I can't talk that much. If you die in Spyro, it's like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, you died in, like, the children's dragon game. Well, now what? But if you die here, like, you're gonna waste some other guy's time. That's like a real person. Make random noises that works for people. I feel bad. I can't do that. I don't know how people stream this game. Because, like, it's also, like, something that you can only really do if you're, like, in the know. Fuck you, die. Fuck you, die. Because, like, obviously, yeah, you can look at this and be like, wow, I know that that's a video game. But it's like, what in the fuck is, like, all of these things popping up on screen? Where's your, like, character? And just like, oh yeah, I'm the guy in, like, the cartoon dust cloud. I'm gonna click on this. Like, obviously, if I played like this, nothing would change. You're getting the same amount of visual information. I respect the hell out of MMO streamers. I could never be one. I like streaming, like, random fucking games that just interest me. I just picked this because I was like, you know, this would be like, that's pretty good background radiation for talking about 14, because it is 14. It doesn't help the fact that, like, usually whenever I play this game, like, I am just zoned the fuck out, and, like, I have something playing on my other monitor. I'm not tanking that. Like, look at that. Look at that fucking thing. There's nothing there. It's just like... It's the cartoon dust cloud. I got hit by something. I didn't even notice I got hit. My eyes. See what I mean? Do you know what's going on right now? I hate you, visual clarity. Play in first person. That would be really funny, but also no. Even I can't stomach first person. Like, again, if I boot up, like, fucking Voices from the Void, like, you know what's going on there, because it's really easy. It's a dude in the woods that's just kind of, like, skuntzing about. But if I boot up like this, it's just like, Milky, what the fuck is going on ever? I'd have to be like, I mean, you know, it's just there's the lady from Nier. We're in, like, the default Unity asset room. You can do that? Yes. Oh, there's people behind me. All right, here we go. First-person gaming. Wow. This shit sucks. This sucks bad. I've never seen this game in first person. I'm going to throw up. Oh my god, it's the red girl. Can I actually play the game like this? I can't see shit! My own Holy Spirit blinds me. There's an AoE on me. What do I have? What color do I have? I had white. Sure. This is the intended way. This is how 14 was meant to be experienced. Holy Spirit just blinds the fuck out of you. Shock black. Okay, I need to be here. Hello, Hrothgar. How are you doing? I can't do it. I can't fucking do that. No. It's so bad. I hope they never remove that. I guess that's my hot take. I hope they never remove that. Oh shit, I can still get melee hits from here. Okay, don't beat me. I think they should always have that in the game, so that way anybody at any time can hit the home button and then, like, experience existential dread. Can you imagine, like, telling someone that after they've been playing the game for, like, years? Because, like, why would you ever hit the home button? Actually, why would you ever hit any of those keys? What's even there? Insert? No one uses that. Home? No one uses that. Page up? You have a fucking scroll wheel. Page down, scroll wheel. End. You have a scroll wheel. Delete. You have backspace. Or Control A and backspace. Who uses those keys? Large girl. You need to, I think, like, I was right. I need to be white. I love 14. Insert's nice to do the backspacing as you're correcting your writing. They're just workflow tools. Alright. They sell, like, gamer chairs that do nothing. When are they going to sell, like, gamer keyboards that just remove those keys entirely? More importantly, what the fuck does pause break do? Or, like, scroll lock? Everything above the arrow keys, I don't know what the hell it's for. I didn't know that was a forced march. You put some menu options there. I've never looked at my fucking keyboard before. What do, like, any of these things do? The letters are easy enough. Alright, I know what the A key does. Many laptops remove them along with the numpad. Numpad I couldn't handle. I like my numpad. Anytime I enter in like a number or like a zip code or like a phone number. Oh, I'm out of mana. I was like, why can't I do Holy Spirit? But yeah, I feel like a secretary whenever I get to, like, enter in a phone number with that thing. So that's worth it for, like, me and me alone right there. Everything else, witchcraft. Hieroglyphs. Ow. There's holes. Near raids. I don't even like the near raid. Which might be a hot take. They're good enough, but, like, I don't like the gear that comes from them. I think it's ugly. I like the gear. I've just seen too many fucking, like, bunnies walk around with their ass out. If you could even call it, like, an ad. Like, see, it's just a jacket. Gross. Thigh boots of fending. Gross. I feel like it's a bad thing. They got everybody in this game has like a Hank Hill ass. Everyone's like walking around with 2 fucking ham slices. All right, why would you want to show that off? All right, boys, check out this cake, and it's like fucking nothing. I've got the same amount of ass as a Vieira does. And I am like 2 sticks standing next to each other. You're tweaking. You're literally just wrong. Someone in this raid probably has their ass out. They don't, but, you know, what if they did? Near raids. Whatever, there's like a Dark Knight there. He can handle that. Level are you, King? 97. After these roulettes, I will be 100. Ass out, ready for battle. I mean, yeah. That's just what everybody does. Everybody has their ass out constantly. And they're like, tee-hee, I love near gear. Meanwhile, I, the Final Fantasy character, am here to tank everything and be a stalwart knight in the land of Eorzea. Behold, bunny ass. Vieira? This is the 3rd expansion in a row you've worn the 2B leggings. I miss my compatriots. My heavily armored, stalwart allies are nowhere to be seen. Everybody wears, like, shorts now. Everybody wears khakis. And, like, tennis shoes and flip-flops. And, like, swim trunks. I alone remain. The stalwart knight. That guy's just a detective. Holy shit, that's a male aura. Look at all these people in cloth. What's the Dark Knight look like? That's not a Dark Knight! What's the warrior look like? That's not a warrior, that's a cowboy! I remain. I remain. Are you at the train? He's not ready. The Dark Knight. Are you like silver and you have gold armor other places? Yes. I mean, the gold is like my weapons only. See? Everything else is more of a dark, like, just a darker color. Look at this Reaper. This Reaper is just like... She looks like a choir girl. I remain. The stalwart knight. Look at silhouette. Look at that silhouette. That's good. That's a hero right there. How are you not? How is like someone else now not ready? Boomer. 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 The stalwart knight! Is that the Dark Warrior of Light Armor? No, this is just the, this is the Prestige Warrior of Light Armor. It's the dyeable one. So, like, if you wanted to, you can dye it whatever color you want. And by that, I mean the cloth. Of course, you can't dye the actual armor. But I could dye it blue. And then now it's, like, basically the Warrior of Light Armor again. Alright, we're going. Wish I could show you my paladin again. I respect the people that show up in armor. It's like, it's baffling to me. I can't believe there's so many people that just like want to dress in khaki shorts. I did the cosplaying the Warrior Light from Final Fantasy 1 is kind of mid. If I wanted to do it, I fucking would. You have any idea how many of these shits I have? I have the entire set. If I wanted to, I could. I use LB3. No. We used to be a country. We used to be a companionship of knights. Now, nothing. People walking around in their shorts with their flip-flops. It's all... There's no valor. There's no honor. I couldn't trust these people to watch my back on the battlefield. You hate my reprogram. I always judge everybody whenever, like, I see someone, like, not wearing armor. And, like, they're a tank class. I'm like, come on! What are you tanking? Hey, Grandpa, it's time for bed. I am the fucking... I'm whatever. Dead Final Fantasy theory. I'm the only real Final Fantasy player. Everybody else is like they're a plant. Ouch. I always just run those really far away from the group because I can never tell if I'm going to, like... If that's going to, like, leave a lingering AoE or something. I like pretty dresses. Disgust me! War gets a pass because we tank with our muscles. Kind of. You should still wear armor. It was the even more set for tanking. This is the train boss. I just don't remember the very beginning. That's how women are made. And now she does the fucking building thing, where she throws buildings at you. Yeah, like that. Just Godbert's character model. Wouldn't use it. I wouldn't care that's in the game, but I would never use it, because I like my swords. holy shit, it's Yukari Yakumo from Toho Project. Where? Right there. She throws trains at you, just like Yukari Yakumo from Toho Project. Nice. Someone just jump off. Oh man, this is gonna hurt. Okay, warrior down. Dark Knight, how we looking? Thought someone was cosplaying as Yukari, they like, no. Oh. Die. Oh my god, I'm distorted. Black in front, white behind. White behind. All I'm saying is, I like armor. I think there should be more armor in the game. And there should be more people wearing armor in the game. I'm just gonna snipe him right here. Someone use LB3. I can't. I'm gonna put the 8th turn. I gotta admit, I do like how they just like throw the Final Fantasy main theme though into the near rig, like, style. It's good. It pleases my brain. Almost as good as having to constantly manage, like, 3 different things at once. This tickles my brain in a good way. I did not see that. It was that close together. Or skirts, yeah, I agree. No! I remember thinking like this back whenever Stormblood was recent too. I was like, damn, why the hell is all, like, why are all of my FC mates not wearing armor? Nice job, Ruben. Hooray. The near raid. That's just a literal coat. 2B card, stuffed android units. The battle-ready Bob. I don't have that. Scanning for style, I don't have that. I don't have that. I did these like once. Cool. 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 I got scanning for style, I guess. Two-player combinations. I don't deserve two-player combinations. What the fuck? Yeah, hope. I think you're cool, just like leaning there, huh? Too bad that's not armor! You wanna know how you... Disgusting. This is how a Reaper should look, alright? This is what a Reaper should look like. Viper, this is what a Viper should look like. Perfect. I can see your thighs. Sinful. Gross. Evil. Oh yeah, Dark Knight? Yeah, you mean, this one? Oh, yeah, Dragoon? Oh, yeah, this one? Armor? I think you mean armor? Milky, Reaper showed up with cloth and other armor, and they were wrong, and that's okay, because I fixed it. Monk! Black Mage. Perfect. Machinist is gross and bad. Gunbreaker. See, Gunbreaker. That's not a warrior. That's a pirate. What's your shirt from Monk? Like the Bosjan shirt? This is what it should be, alright? This is like, there's no armor here. There's no metal. Look at that. That's a coat. That shit's a coat. That's a coat. That is a coat. What's this? Maiden coat of aiming. Some metal, still coat. Pirate from default. You gotta be armored. Alright? Like a fucking knight. You gotta be ready. I look too frumpy in full armor. Maybe you should solve that. Alright? That's why I don't play like Hrothgar. I thought Hrothgar looked cool. And then I was like, wow, they look kind of really shitty in armor. So I didn't do it. And then I was like, well, shit, maybe I'll be a Vieira. Because, you know, that's a new race. The bunny boys look kind of cool. Can't wear helmets. They're bad. The only reason I have yet... Oh, see, that's good. That's armor. The only reason I have yet to ever swap off of Aura is because, like, every other race looks really shitty in armor. Auras just look good in armor. What do you mean insufficient inventory space? All right, fine. I'll chuck some pants. Goodbye, pants. There we go. I want helmet reload bag. Having dyed PvP armors, I'd probably wear those. See, look at that. Perfect. Giant, like, metal arm. What a guy. What a gamer. I've unlocked the beast gauge. Can we talk about how useless this thing is? Like, the Viper job gauge? Can we talk about how bad that is and how it doesn't do anything? The 0, like, with the circle, that does something. Like, the one you get first with the 2 swords, this does nothing. Why is it here? It's weird and gross. Paladin. It only does something if you remember the combo anyways. Not even that. You don't even need to remember it. You just click on the glowing button. You don't need to remember shit. Like, the way Viper works is you just hammer 1 and 2 as they glow, and then, like, you're like, okay, shit, it's that easy? Yes. Like, look, okay, if you're playing Viper, the way to do it is you mash the glowing 1 and 2 button, and then depending on if it's green or red, you do a positional. And other than that, that's it. Congratulate, you've won. You now know how to play Viper. Is your damage buff up? Good. You're doing it. You're playing Viper. If it's green, hit him from the side. If it's red, hit it from the back. There you go. That's Viper. Like, okay, watch this. Viper is just doing this. None of these buttons matter. Now it's red from behind. Do these buttons, whatever. Hit the glowing button. It's green, hit it from the side. That's it. That's Viper. That's it. That's literally all Viper is. This, like, mountain of text, it means nothing. That mountain of text, all it says is you hit 5, it refreshes your damage debuff. Other than that, you hit the glowing buttons. I just fucking do this. Do a little of that. And then whenever you get that button, you hit this. This does nothing. You hit the buttons. You hit them as fast as you can. Just mash the goddamn buttons. Hit this button. Do it again! That's Viper. You just hit buttons. It's Melee Dancer. Yes. You hit the buttons when they light up. And if they light up, congratulations. You've done it. That's Viper. The dual blade combo has positionals. This. Hey, it does. Why? It just does. Like, I like Reaper, because Reaper's positionals are literally like these 2 buttons, and that's it. Reaper does not have positionals. Because, like, to be fair, why not? Because positionals are kind of, like, outdated anyway. Positionals made a lot of sense back in Heavensward. Because in Heavensward, a lot of Dragoon was tied to positionals. And depending on what you did, depending on, like... So if you used, like, one of your moves, then you got, like, Blood of the Dragon. And you got, like, it extended your Blood of the Dragon. And, like, positionals mattered. Ninja, like, if they hit you from behind with the trick attack, you know, that was, like, the only way you could do the trick attack. It's like it mattered. Now, positionals hardly fucking matter. Like, this is a 60%... Not 60%. This is a 60 potency increase. That's it. It's 60 more potency for 2 buttons that you hit. You want to know how you get that 60 potency? you do Reaper like this, and then you hit true north, and then you do that. That's it. That's how you get the 60 potency. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it again. Hit true north. There you go. That's it. Bada bing. You got the potency. That's all Reaper is. It's just the true north class. Oh, you forgot Death's design. I did forget Death's design. My parse is going to be shit. I'm going to get kicked out of the static. Whatever will I do? This site looks really cool. But, like, that's it. You hit 8, you hit this, you do this. Your buttons may differ. Wow, I did Reaper's positionals. I feel so accomplished. The only time it matters is whenever you don't have true north. Then you hit Enshroud and you just do this. Those don't have positionals. You have a little dedicated button with Monk that just removes all the positionals. Yeah, that's why I'm like, why don't you just get rid of these things? I get that, like, they make melee classes kind of unique, but at the same time, whenever the boss is really big, then you just kind of end up doing this a lot. And you're like... Like, let's say this house is the boss. I am now, like, behind the boss. If I want to hit flank, I gotta go over here and then, like, do a move over here. Then I gotta move back to rear to do, like, a combo here. I gotta move back to flank to do a combo over here. I feel like melee positionals are just kind of, like, redundant at this point. Get the fuck out of here. We solved this. Get the fuck out of here. They can just make the bosses out backsides too, so, I mean, yeah. Like, okay. All of Endwalker's raid tier was like, didn't positionals just not matter? Because, like, all the bosses just were omnidirectional anyway. I remember that for, like, the second tier of raids. Like, the second series of raids. I think. So, like, they're also kind of just patching melee positionals out of the game anyway. Limit cut. I don't know what limit cut is. I just know people don't like it. Limit cut, Milky. What the hell is limit cut? They remove positionals. It'll never play melee again. That's a personal problem. Well, I mean, it kind of depends on the melee you play. Because, like... Bitch. I'm opening EX has it. They just reuse it a fuck ton. Numbers above head. But again, like, so much of 14 is just, like, why? It's like, it's dated design. I don't think Melee has, like, a reason to do that anymore. I think people will still play Melee classes if you remove positionals. Because, like, people already do their best to remove positionals. What the hell is this? So, I mean, That's me, though. Tanks don't have positionals, and people still play tanks. Or make positionals matter more. As they are right now, they have, like, basically no purpose. It's a nice odd position that I enjoy, get it right. I think they should make it matter more, like they did back in Heavensward. Because boy, oh boy, Heavensward sure had a hell of a lot of fail states. There were many things you could do wrong with a job. And if you did the things wrong, then you did things wrong. Bye. Bye. What's a positional? Out of the loop on this one. Melee DPS. The people that have to, you know, beat the shit out of people up close and personal. So, like, Viper have skills that whenever you do them, it's easier to illustrate in Reaper. This skill right here says, hits a target with an attack potency of 400. You don't need to worry about the numbers. And then if you hit them from behind, then it does 60 more damage. Or 60, yeah, just 60 more damage, basically. If this attack does 400 damage, then if you hit a guy in the side, it does 60 more damage. The potency increases are very small and basically negligible. In, like, all content except, like, really high-end content. Hit zones, basically. Yes. Some give extra gauge. Didn't they remove that from Samurai? Like, Samurais used to give extra gauge. Now it doesn't. It still does. I thought they removed that mainly. Like, Shifu... Gecko. From the rear. Combo bonus. Increases Kenki gauge by 10. That just increases the potency by 50. That increases Kenki gauge by 10. These are AoEs anyway, there's no positional. Yukikaze has no positional. Jinpu has no positional. No positional. Told you! Combo bonus increases Kenki gauge by 5. Yeah, they got rid of the gauge thing. For Samurai. I think Monk might have it? Maybe? Flank Fury potency. No, that just increases potency slightly. Monk does not, just potency. That's the thing about melee classes. They just kind of increase the potency for like a melee hit, and that's it. They don't, like, do anything. I just feel like if you're going to have potencies in the game, you should make them, like, matter a little bit more. Because otherwise, it's just like, I mean, it's like 60 more potency, like 50 more potency. In a regular dungeon, I just, like, don't do them. So Certain skills would stun others and inflict bleed. I mean, with Dragoon, it was literally the entire reason what you had to do. You had 2 different skills you could use while under Blood of the Dragon. That would... either you used from the flank or the rear, and then if you used them, it would extend Blood of the Dragon if you hit the potency. If you didn't hit the potency, it wouldn't extend Blood of the Dragon. So a lot of Heavensward Dragoon was managing Blood of the Dragon by getting a bunch of, like, your positionals correct. And now you just don't. Anyway, I'm done. I've rambled enough. I've gotten my 14 ramblings out of the way. It's short, but like, It did what it needed to do. Hope we can finally quit XIV. I will never stream this game again. This was one and done. This will never show up ever again. I will simply play this on my own time. Friday's Crash Bandicoot, though. That should be fun. I've got an idea for that one. I got a really like funny idea for that. Thanks. Bimini. B-Mini. Bye!